I am Savak Kotwal. Here, sitting with me is my wife and my eldest daughter Naju. You see, I have known Baba since last 18 years. First I came in contact with Baba in 1928. 1928. So, and for the last 5 years, I was a watchman sitting beside my dearest Baba and pressing his feet from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. Now, I was sitting close to Baba's bed and pressing his feet all the time. And I have not to make any sort of noise, not to move even. So, very quietly I have to press his leg all the time. And we cannot go out of the room for toilet even. See, now one day Sri Baba was at the residence of Kaka Baria in Bombay. I went for his darshan and Baba said to me, "You will have to suffer a severe torment which is oncoming for you. You will have a lovely child, but your wife will die." At that time, my wife Nargis was expecting a baby and her health was very poor and there was a very rare hope of her survival according to doctor's statement. I therefore pleaded before my compassionate father and replied that you alone could save me from this torment. On hearing this, Baba directed me to take the 1 rupee, it was lying on the sofa near him, and said that I should feed lepers with it and finish the amount within 7 days. He further directed me that I should not mix up the change of this amount with any other, but if by mistake it did mix up, then I should immediately send Baba a telegram. In those days, with 4 annas, one could enjoy a very good meal. However, the master's working is strange, and hence whichever leper I approach would say that I was not hungry. One leper, whom I wished to feed, turned round and said to me, "You have come to pour your burden on me." In this manner, after much effort and after going from place to place and spending more than ₹10, that I was able to use up that 1 rupee given to me by the merciful master to spend within 7 days. Sri Baba had further directed me that if my wife's condition worsened, then I should immediately approach Tipu Baba and say, "The emperor has sent me to you." Therefore, on a Sunday, when her condition was very serious, I rushed off to Tipu Baba and conveyed the message. Tipu Baba was just going to have his meals, but on hearing the message of the avatar of the age, he got up and went out and stood in the full heat of the sun for half an hour until he was drenched in his own perspiration. He then sat down for his meals and said to me, "Oh, it has been successful." Then Gujarati. Then on Thursday, the doctor said to me that either the child will be dead or else the mother will be dead. But the will of the Master is greater than nature. My wife Nargis lives and also my son Adi, all because of my merciful father. From February 1940, my wife and I, with my 3 children, surrendered to Avatar Meher Baba, who accepted us. My 3 children, Naju 12, Hillu 8, and Adi 3 years old, and myself, to join the fortunate fold of the Ashramites and to live in the ashram. Once my wife was touring in the bus, blue bus, with other ladies of the Mandali. At one spot, the bus stopped and Baba was standing outside it. A thought passed through my wife's mind like a spark, that what would be the lot of her 3 children if she were to die. The compassionate father had read her thoughts and with a merciful look and action said to her, "Do not worry, you will not die so soon. Also, I am with them always." My wife felt ashamed. Such a thought could ever penetrate her mind. He who is the father of all, is it difficult for him to tend to the worldly needs of the 3 little children of his devotees who have surrendered with all, with love and faith? No, never. Today my children are happy and successful in life. He loved them, nurtured them, and educated them, and saw to it that they are well settled in life. My 2 children are today blessed with good jobs, and one of my daughters with a happy family life. And what more, the 3 of them very proudly called Meher Baba their big daddy. In 1944, I was completely crippled in bed because of severe rheumatism in both my legs. At that time, I was living with my family in a house 2 furlongs away from Meherabad. This was a severe blow to me, but I had faith and felt in my heart that someday I will be all right in His mercy and be able to walk again. One day in the severe heat of the afternoon, Baba came walking from Meherabad to see me. He saw me and then said to those around, "Now Savak will be able to walk again soon." Saying this, the compassionate father walked back to Meherabad. In the full heat of the sun, a very hot summer day, I was able to walk again. That is only after 10 days, and very soon too. Sweet are His mercies, and fortunate are we who have faith in Him, the Messiah of the age. For it happened just as Jesus said, Go in peace. Thy faith hath made thee whole." And Jesus is amidst us once again as Meher Baba, our merciful Father.
Begin. First, I wanted to tell you how I met Baba. I did not believe in him. So I went to see him and I wanted to fight with him. Because my husband was not very good to me. When I saw first Baba, I asked him, "Are you Meher Baba?" He said, "Yes." So I was very angry with him and I said that I have come to complain about my husband. He is not good with me. He doesn't care for children or his wife. He is only doing his work, and that's all. He is all the time after sadhus and saints And I don't like all this nonsense. Yes, and he is after you only. He doesn't care for me. And I was very angry. Then Baba said, don't worry, I have come to unite you and not to separate you with your husband.
Then what happened when you saw your husband? When you saw your husband again?
He was the same all the time. So I was very angry and I wrote a letter to Baba also. That he doesn't care for me or for my child.
And what did Baba reply?
Baba said, my nazar is on you and everything will be all right. Then afterwards, everything was all right.
What had happened that made things all right?
He was nice to me. He was nice with my child also. Then once, then afterwards I began to believe in Baba, because what happened to me, it was Baba's key only. In the very first meeting, he was so kind and generous to me. And then I thought that he will unite me with my husband. Then afterwards, I had very bad pain in my stomach and back. I used to go to doctor for 1 month and he didn't cure me. Then my husband told me that Baba has come to Bombay. You like to come and see him? I said, yes, come on, I must see him. So I went to see him and he was not there. And Baba's mother or somebody told us that he will come at night. And it was 5 o'clock in the evening. So I said, all right, we will sit till night, doesn't matter. And Baba, in 10 minutes passed and Baba came. Then he so nicely asked me, spoke to me, asked me, what is wrong with you? Why are you looking so thin and pale? So I told him that I am suffering from very severe pain and I couldn't bear. This pain begins in the afternoon at 2 o'clock and disappears in the night at 9 o'clock. And again, another day, it begins at 2 o'clock. So Baba gave me a rose. He said, you take 1 by 1 beetle every day and you will be all right, and don't worry about anything. Everything will be all right. So when I went home, I forgot that pain in the bus only. And I used to take every day 1 petal of that rose. And the pain disappeared in the bus only. Then I learned to love Baba more and more. And I today I can give my life for Baba. On the very first day, when we reached Bangalore, I was very sick. I had 4 temperature. Then Baba came and asked me, what has happened to you? What is this? And I said, I am very sick, Baba. So he took me to the ladies' ashram and he put me on the bed and said, don't worry, just lie down and relax and I will see to it. Then he said, now from today till the end, I will see to you and your 3 children and husband and the littlest needs. And you have not to worry at all for anything. He has seen up till now everything, each and everything. That's it. Once my son Adi, he had typhoid. And Dr. Nilkant and Dr. Donkin said he will die. At that time, Baba has to go to Surat. He was traveling. And all the time, when he went Udvada, Navsari, all the stations he has to Bedul, go and see, is there any telegram? Adi died or not? Adi died or not? He used to ask for Adi only. He was talking nothing, but only Adi. He died or not? And the telegram. When they reached Surat, and still they didn't have any telegram. Then Baba said, they didn't telegram me even. What is this nonsense? But there was nothing wrong. How can we telegram him? My son got all right then. Then he asked me one day, when he was just recovering, what would you have done if he would have died? I said, nothing, Baba. What can I do? It's your will. What can I do? Nothing. My daughter Hilla, she is a very pretty girl. Once she had chicken pox. And she was removed to a hospital in Sikandrabad. At that time, Baba was in Sikandrabad. So after 7 days, Baba called her home where he was staying. Then he used to give her medicine and wash her cup with his own hands. See. And he used to touch her face every day with his both hands so nicely, kindly. And she was looking very ugly after that chicken pox. And that because of the marks. And after that, 15 days, she was looking again pretty as she was before. This is what I mean, how Baba loved and cared for my children. This daughter Naju will tell you something about dearest Baba.
Now, you see, I was in Baba's ashram ever since I was 11 years old. And I used to be going and coming to Baba's place because I was studying in school. Now, what I want to say to you is that we always loved Baba first as our father, our big daddy, and then we worshipped him as God. And of course, he saw, as he said to my mother and father when they surrendered to him, he had said, he will see to our littlest needs. And that's what he has done all these days, and we know he will do till the very end. Now I'll give you a few instances of how much Baba loved and cared for us as little children, as a father. A most human person, even though he was God, he was really so much human, I would say. Now I will give you few examples. When I used to go to school, I was a very skinny girl, wouldn't eat properly, and when I would come back on holidays, of course I would be going to the ashram, and Baba used to say, now you must eat well, you must rest well, and you must work well, you must do everything well. And then Baba used to give us, Baba used to come himself with a teaspoon of butter, and he used to put it into my mouth. And because Baba gave it, and he gave it so lovingly, just like a father, we used to take it, and at least I used to swallow it. And this is what I mean of how much he cared as a father. I will give you another instance, and that is Baba, when we went from the school, we used to go to see him, take his darshan. That time he would say, now let me see your report. How did you do in the school? And then we had to show him our report, and that how well, whether we did well in the class, whether we did well in the exams, or we did not do well in the exams. If we didn't do well in the exams, just like an ordinary man, he would say, why didn't you do well? And then we would give some excuses. So he would say, now next time you must do well. I don't want excuses. See, this is what I mean. He cared so much, just like a normal, just like a human being. Though he was so much what we call God man. Then I'll give you another instance of how much he cared for us. When I finished my schooling, I was completing that time my exams, and I felt very, very ill. And Baba, just in his own loving way, he sent a telegram to say, do not worry, all will be well. And believe it or not, I remember still that I was in a convent, so the nuns used to take me to the examination hall with all woolen clothes and with blanket, because I used to be having fever that time. But I used to think in my mind, Baba says all will be well. And it all turned out to be well, because by his grace I did very well in my exams and I got a first class. And then to tell you something about my career. Baba wanted me to be a nurse. Baba asked me, now what will you be after your Cambridge exam? I said, Baba, I would like to be a doctor. So Baba says, no, Dr. Donkin is there, Dr. Gaver is there, Dr. Nilkant is there, so many doctors are there. I want you to be a nurse. So, you see, in India, there is not much prestige for the nursing profession. And so, naturally, I was a young girl with very little, I did not think that Baba is first God and then my father. So I was inclined to disobey, and I said, oh no, Baba, I want to be a doctor. Then Baba said, all right, you go ahead then. Then I went to college, and I finished my 2 years of collegiate program. And although I was a first class student, it so happened that in my final in my college, I did very poorly. So I didn't get admission in the medical. And then I found a newspaper advertisement in which it said that they would accept me for a nursing course in a BSc degree in nursing. So then I said, oh, Baba had once said I should be a nurse, so let me go in for nursing. And then I took up nursing. And I completed my course and I got my BSc degree in nursing. So then when I went to see Baba, Baba said to me, so Naju, now you are a nurse. So I said, yes, Baba. So he says, you remember I told you to be a nurse? So I said, yes, Baba. So then he said to me, well, you know what you did? Catching your ear like this, you have got your ear like that. And I remembered Baba's words. It is quite true, Baba is God in human form, and this is what we are likely to forget when we live very close to Him. And although we should have obeyed implicitly, this is what I did not do, and so I had to do it a long way off. Then to tell you something more about Baba and his love for us as Big Daddy. Baba said one day to Erich in Guru Prasad, now what shall we do with Naju? We'll make her somebody great, shall we? So Erich said, yes, Baba, we must make her somebody big, a big shot. So Baba laughed. And then after some time, only I received a scholarship from the USAID and for studying in the States. And so I went to the States and I went and did my master's there. And at that time, I came to know so many American Baba lovers. And Baba was so sweet. He just like a dear father sent letters to various American disciples through, of course, dear money. and the money wrote saying that I was to go. And they loved me, they looked after me. They were really so good to me in every way that I did not miss India at all, because I felt as if the States was another of my home, having Baba lovers over there as well. And of course, by Baba's grace, today I am working as a professor. And this is what I mean, that Baba, in his sweet way, has up to now seen to our littlest needs. Now I want to give you an example of how Baba knows everything. And we go on struggling in our human ways and not understanding the fact that Baba knows things. See, when I returned from abroad, I was posted in Gujarat state. That is a very lonely area, I would say almost a God-forsaken area, so to say. And I didn't like it there. And I was writing to Baba several times saying, Baba, I don't want to be here, and now I have got stuck here, and it is not ever possible for me to come back to Bombay. So Baba, in his very sweet way, wrote to me, and these are the exact words which I quote. He said, you should not in the least worry about your allocation. Even if the government writes 1 lakh no's to you, you will definitely be in Maharashtra after your return. So this is what I mean, what Baba says. And we never realize that Baba is God in human form. He knows what is going to be ahead. And this is the proof that Baba knew what was to happen. This is an almost impossibility. Nobody ever gets into another state. But it was Baba's will, and he did it. He really did it. Jai Baba. Now, this is one song which in 1947 I had composed 23 years ago for beloved Baba. I will sing it to you. King of kings, thou art to me. Close to thee I long to be. Safely there my soul shall rest, closer to thy loving breast. Night and day I dream of thee. Come, oh come, my Lord, to me. Let me live for thee alone in this world so woebegone. Music hath no charm for me. Life hath no desire for me. Heart is bleeding just for thee. Sighing, weeping, all for thee. Living in thy memory. Shall I wait here patiently, singing songs of love and pain, yearning for thee, not in vain. Now these last 2 lines is something which Baba corrected. My original song had singing songs of love and pain, yearning for thee, but in vain. And Baba said, no, you correct that and say singing songs of love and pain, yearning for thee, not in vain. Indeed, it is true. Nothing is in vain with Baba. My family and I feel that we have known Baba very close to us. And but now, since Baba is no more in human form, he has come right within our hearts. And we should now remember him as God in human form. And he is eternally with us in our every word, every thought, and every deed. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.